founder of an organization known as Citizens Against Agenda 21. Ernie, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and it's nice to be back again.
Good to see you. Ernie, you have a perspective on our previous topic. Previous topic was the federal land grab of 11,000 acres of a gentleman in Southern California named Bill Johnson. We saw that with Clive Bundy in Nevada, and we know that the federal government owns 86% of the entire state of Nevada. We saw what's happening a couple weeks ago in Texas with 30,000 acres there. Our previous guest, Kristen Tate, said it's probably the tip of the iceberg. Now, you have the way you fit into this story is bigger picture. You started an organization called Agenda 21. We'll tell our viewers in a moment what that is. But it appears this federal land grab movement falls under a global ideology.
That's right.
A lot of our folks out there know what Agenda 21 is, but not everyone. Tell them what that is, please.
Agenda 21 was an agenda put together by the United Nations. The United States participated in it. Agenda 21 is a land grab. It's basically an agenda to control all Americans, to control all your land, to control all of your resources, to control anything and everything that you do, including how many miles you drive. As you noticed just last week, actually this week in California, the Senate just passed the fee per mile, but it's going to be on a voluntary basis. Again, every mile you drive will now be charged a fee. All right. That's Agenda 21.
That's important. But let me step back about it. Now, the UN will say that the Agenda 21 plan is for promoting sustainable human development. The objective is to improve social, economic, and environmental quality of human settlements living and working all around the world, regardless of income class, race, color, etc. President H.W. Bush signed onto this. That doesn't sound like a negative thing.
Doesn't sound like a negative thing, but if you read that closely and look at it closely, what they're talking about is the United States was too high. We're basically doing too well. And so what the United Nations want to do is make sure the United States was dumbing down a little bit, where we became a little bit more equal with the rest of the countries, especially the third world nations. And so now you're starting to see it where they're taking away all of your land, they're taking away all of your rights. They're almost basically implementing Marxism, because Marxism was one of the biggest points of Marxism and communism is take away the land rights of the people. And you talked about social economic. Again, that's Marxism, that's communism. You'll see social economics all the time. That simply means everybody pretty much does the same thing, makes whatever we tell them to make. There's no reason to even want to work hard anymore.
Do you believe President H.W. Bush was misinformed? He was naive. The guy was ran the CIA. He couldn't have been naive. Do you think he was misinformed? He's certainly not a Marxist.
I don't think he was misinformed, but I do remember when he said that he wanted to see a brand new world order. He talked about the new world order. He said that this was going to be the beginning of that new world order. And so what you're seeing now is a mixture of America and other nations working together, not only to take away all of your resources, but now you're starting to see us even battle your wars for you. Even though it's not under the American flag, we're now flying under a United Nations flag. So this is all Agenda 21. This is what's coming. It's here. You know, we call it Agenda 21, but it's here already. It's already in your laws. It's already in your state laws. And all across the nation, it's already in your city plans.
All right. Now, I agree with you. Agenda 21, on the surface, looks like it has good intentions, has the right ideas, it feels good, but it is meant to level out the playing field. Those that are performing well, let's say the United States, are meant to be brought back to the middle of the pack. That's how I interpret it as well, Ernie White. Now, how does this apply to private property owners such as Bill Johnson in California or Clive Bundy in Nevada? How does United Nations Agenda 21 apply to a private property owner in America?
Well, what they've done, especially with like the Bundy situation, and out here in California with the Vail Lake Resort situation, that'll be Bill Johnson's property. What they've done is they've included now, this is the environmental aspect of Agenda 21. They're saying they're doing this for the greater good of the world. And because he has open space land, he doesn't really need to have that much land. So the country should have that land. So it should be controlled by those who want to protect the environment, because he has water there. So they want to control that. And what they're going to do, and they've already done this, they rezoned Bill's land. They rezoned it so that he can't use it, he can't build on it, he can't plant anything on it, but he has to pay the property tax. If he doesn't pay them, then they're going to take the land. They've already moved in on his land. It's going to take patriots probably to stop them from taking it from him.
And by the way, 11,000 acres, but the point I want to point out, you talk about water on that land. This particular individual, Bill Johnson, owns the largest private he owns the largest private lake in the state of California. The government wants that. All right, Ernie White, thanks for joining us. Point is, this federal land grab of private property in America, it's bad enough it's coming from federal government, but it's coming from a bigger picture. It's coming from UN Agenda 21.
It's also coming from your local politicians, and let's not let them off the hook.
How do they fit into this?
The Republicans in this area are all involved in this because they work for what you call the COGS, Council of Governments and the Association of Governments. Those are your arms of Agenda 21. Those are your arms of the United Nations that are pushing these laws to us on the local.
We're down to 30 seconds. Tell us how a local politician in a city or a town or a county is it tied to a cog of the UN?
Because our local politicians are all members of all of the COGS, all of the Council of Governments. They're all members of the MSHCP, which is your Multi-Species Habitat Conservation Plan Act. All of your conservation authorities are all full of your city council members. Again, in their local towns, they will rezone the land for your EPA and your BLM.
Do these local politicians even know that they're participating in?
Exactly, they do know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing.
Wow. All right. Ernie White, thank you.
Thank you.
A record number of 92 million Americans are looking for work, but the White House says the unemployment rate went down. How'd that happen? You're watching the Amato Show. We're discussing that next. Stay with me. We're back after this.